You are in the chill zone with Cranky and the Autobot Dad. Autobots roll out. All right.
Down.
We are back
I reckon
once
we got the
again
best
to.
intro.
I think we do, yeah. We're back once again to transform your Friday morning with another hour of shit talking, really.
That's the way it goes with us. We've swapped it up from traffic control into just shit talk because
Yeah, just
we've
talking
just
about.
covered everything. I think to do with construction and traffic control there is. So
Yeah,
yeah,
to
welcome
be
to
honest,
those that have
there
joined.
isn't a hell of a lot of stuff you can talk about in traffic control because, as it turns out, not much changes.
No, which we thought there was quite a bit because where we work, there was always shit going on. But turns out you've got to kind of be up there in the management side and I guess on the operating side, as sense in the
Yeah.
TMAs or, you know, in work health safety sort of thing to actually hear of anything that goes on. Otherwise, everything's just hidden from you, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're just there to fucking put out signs and go stop slow, and you know that's practically all we're getting on the feed. So we thought, fuck it, let's switch it up.
Yeah,
And
that's.
so far it's worked
Well,
out for us,
if you are still in the industry, we'll be more than happy to have you on and chat with us.
100%.
It makes things work, but we have something that's very much not traffic control related to talk about today, and that is privacy concerns at the local swimming pool.
Yes, I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, Cranky, but I certainly have. And as of recent, there has been quite a few, let's say, colourful individuals that have extent pedophile backgrounds being released from prison. Not just in Western Australia, but New South Wales, Sydney,
Oh, yeah.
Canberra area, all over. And they're getting released into your community, and no one knows where they're being released.
It's not like America. America has that they got the, what do they call it, the sex offenders registry.
Sex offenders
And
registry.
anybody can check that,
Correct. And
find out where
whereas,
these people live.
and I
And
think why they don't do it here in Australia is I think a lot of people are on the they shouldn't be breathing side. So, you know, if they were to name this person or release their information, then they would go out and try hunt them down and kill them and all this. And the way Australia works lately is let's protect the person being released or even being incarcerated and rehabilitate them into society.
the problem with pedophiles is that you are never going to rehabilitate them.
No, I think it's once you get tarnished with that brush and you've sexually assaulted a kid, you should be life in prison, if not. If we have a death sentence, that's where it should be going. If you've physically gone out, met a child, fuck them, you should be incarcerated for life. Now, what happens with most of them, they get incarcerated, they lie about their offences, but criminals get, you know, in the little blue circle, you'd call it, there in prison.
Yeah.
And they'll get the information from the guards that have befriended prison inmates. Hey, give us the info on this person. Because prison inmates, even though they're incarcerated, a lot of them still have money on the outside, and money talks.
You know what they call them on the inside? What they call pedophiles?
Like rock spiders or
Rock
something over
spiders.
here. Yeah, the rock spiders.
Yeah.
They get their food
Now-
spat in, apparently. They even though they're in protection, if you're in protection, that's apparently the worst. Now, I only know this because I had a friend that went to jail, not for this offence, but for armed robbery. He held up service stations on drugs and done his time and got out and rehabilitated.
See, now that is something you can rehabilitate. Why? Because it's not a sexual preference or an addiction.
And I tell you what, from the time he's got out, he's done well. He had a job from day one getting out. Even day two, I should say, because day one he got out. I took him to his accommodation. Day two, he had a job straight away, and he was working in the farming sort of vineyards. and he's gradually rehabilitated himself to now he's the leading hand doing land clearing, earning like $45 an hour. So he's doing quite well for himself.
That's good. That's good.
And that's locally. But
Yeah, well,
pedophiles, you can't rehabilitate. You can't.
You can't
And just go in and put them in jail and rehabilitate them and release them into the public.
I don't know if you remember back in the 60s and 70s, they tried rehabilitating gay people. And they'd send them to mental hospitals, and because they believed it was a mental illness.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's a sexual preference.
Yeah.
And you cannot fix sexual preference.
Nah. You look at that guy, I forget what his name is, but he got put in jail for being a pedophile. They then released him. He then breached his, I think he had something like 56 conditions that he had to abide by.
Yep.
And he had breached one of those conditions. I think he had pornography or something, or some sort of exploitation on his phone, and it was just a picture.
I had heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they threw him back in jail, and then he got released again. And now he's been released. No one knows where he is. However, his face has been plastered by the media, so I'm sure he's in the middle of re-changing his identity to some sorts. But
I know,
we don't have a database where we can go, pedophiles near me or something like that, and you can see, okay, who lives in Rockingham, who lives in Beverley, who lives in York, who lives in Sydney, who lives in Canberra.
Yeah.
We don't have that database.
I know for a fact that there is one that recently got bailed to my area, and that's because I used to know the guy outside of prison before he got sentenced. I considered him a mate. Turns out the entire time he was doing stuff with kids, and long before he got arrested, he was telling me, like, if I ever went to jail, I'd put my cousin Gary's address down as my bail residence.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I didn't live in Campbelltown, but I do now, and I know that Gary lived in Campbelltown.
Yeah, right.
I just don't know where. But I don't want to randomly run into old mate in public one day.
In public, yeah.
But I know that I might, because he's been bailed to here, and he only got bailed he got out of jail last year. I think he copped about 55 counts of indecent assault against minors, but that was back in the 90s that happened.
Yeah. And just imagine running into that person at your local pool as well, and you've got your kids there.
So
that
leads me into what I wanted to talk about the local pool.
There you go.
Right? Because what Tess does at our local swimming centre, not a normal public pool. They just teach the kids there. You can't go and swim there as an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a swim pool, like Blue Swim or something like that.
Yeah. I'm not actually going to name it though, because we like
we
going
live
there.
In the area.
We like going there, but they caused us some drama recently, because right before the lesson ends, Tess likes to go and grab a shower cubicle, because the shower cubicles are the only ones that have a private change table. There are only about 4 of them, I think, and the other change tables are just sort of out in the foyer area, where anybody who walks into the pool area can just see the kids being changed. Okay?
Yeah.
There's not even a partition between each table, nothing. And there's so much foot traffic coming in through the front door that they've got no way of sorting out who's a parent and who's not a parent, and who's, supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there. Anybody can just walk into that swim centre if they wanted to. Anybody can walk in and see your kid with bloody, how would I say this, everything they had for breakfast on display while you're changing the nappy.
Yeah, that's it. It's there's no sense of privacy.
No sense of privacy. So the manager of the swim centre came up to Tess the other day, and she sort of went, you're taking up a shower cell. People need to use these, So Tess doesn't take things lying down.
Yeah.
She likes to fight. She fights this kind of thing. So she went off with this woman and she started going, well, look, you need to act upon getting more change tables into the other changing rooms because this is just bullshit. I don't want my daughter's stuff on display for everyone to see. And it's essentially the manager just went like, get out. You can't change your baby in the shower anymore. Which is ridiculous, okay?
Yeah, that is crazy. Why have a baby change room in there?
No, exactly. They have plenty of other change rooms, but none of them have tables in them.
Yeah.
All the tables have been removed, and now all the tables, except for the ones in the shower box, are outside, where everyone can see. So, of course, Tess has put in a formal complaint and everything, and we're just waiting to see how that goes. But, like I said, there's no way of figuring out who is at that swimming centre for what reason.
Yeah.
You never know if old mate who's walked past the desk just then is there to watch his niece swimming or if he's there to watch other children being changed.
Yeah. And that's the same sort of... In our pool, we don't have that problem, see, because Mandurah is a very well-known place for high crime and all that sort of thing, criminals being released and all that. But all our shower rooms, change rooms are all in behind closed doors, locked away.
Yep.
The local shopping centre, however, different story. But, the local pool in our areas, every pool I've been to so far, whether it's Mandurah, Rockingham, Beverley, and Beverley's our country town, York... any area, any of those areas, they've always got private change rooms. So it's always behind a closed door. You can lock the door. Now, the shopping centre, again, no privacy, no petition, but you do get a button where you can push it and sliding door opens. However, there is cameras watching.
And anyone can just go press a button and open a door. Anyone can just walk in there.
What shits me about your situation is the pool manager actually turned around and said, get out. When there's actually a baby change room in there. Now, if that was me, I'd be making a formal complaint, not only to the local council, because the local council probably own that pool.
No. It's part of a local mall. It's privately owned.
Privately owned. I would be contacting the big manager that runs that.
Yeah, that's what we've done. That's what we've done. Contacted everybody we can.
Yeah, 100%.
Put in a formal complaint. Now... The thing is, we actually like the swimming teacher that Amara has, so we don't want to be changing swim schools.
No. I think what will happen is that manager will have a little meeting with the higher-ups as a please explain, because those change rooms, if you can go into that shower block and there is a baby change room in there and you can lock the door... No manager can walk up to you and say, get out, you can't use this. Especially if it's actually used for that purpose where adults can't swim. It's purely for children or babies.
Yeah.
My
teenagers.
argument would...
Babies to teenagers.
Correct.
They do
my
all
argument in all of that would be is, well, why would you have a baby change room in here if it can't be used? And why are you trying to get me out in the open with my child... in the open where everyone can see her bits on display? Why are you trying to push me further into the public? Why can I not preference a private room?
Why does my child not deserve privacy? I mean, they are people too.
If management come out and tried to defend this, I would take it as further to say I was forced into a public area where I was made to feel uncomfortable. I'd go down the path of even suing said centre, even though I do understand you like the centre and all that, and say we were forced to be in an uncomfortable situation, forced into the open public to have to change our child publicly instead of privately. And I can guarantee the centre's lawyers straight away will be, we need to solve this. This cannot reach court. This is a massive problem. Because they'll have a please explain from the judge going, well, why is there a baby change room in there if it can't be used as one? Clearly it was designed for that purpose. You don't have signs up saying this cannot be used as a baby change room. Only ages from this age to that age can use this bathroom. None of that's there.
Well, each shower cell has, what's the word? Each shower cubicle has an actual baby change table in it. You can change them there.
So you can change them there. That's what the purpose of it was for. So that centre manager is out of line. 100%.
Now the
And-
problem I have is that there is another row. What are you drinking there? That looks
that
almost
is
like a Great
Solo.
Northern. Oh, it's a Solo.
It does.
Okay.
It's Solo. No,
I was
I
like,
don't
what?
drink
Swagman's
anymore.
on the sauce again?
No. I'm eating my strawberry
Autobot,
custard
sorry.
tart and
Yeah.
having my Solo.
That's pretty similar to the breakfast I had the other day. But no, I digress. I have a problem with the rest of the showers there because only 4 of them are in cubicles, like I said. But then they've got this bank of showers out the front where the other baby change tables are. Again, where anybody can just see your kid showering.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay,
eh?
sure, you're not supposed to be showering nude in those ones, obviously. But, I mean, pedophiles have an imagination.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's like the police tell you when you go out, close the blinds because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
Yeah.
Same with leaving shit in your car. That you leave a purse in the car.
Yeah.
People look in and go, "Oh, a purse." Now, if that purse wasn't there, they're going to go, "Oh, nothing in there. Fuck off to the next car."
This
But
is
if they
why
see
I have
something they
windows
want-
tinted as dark as night.
as you can get. Now, I believe the law
Yeah,
needs to change on that. Given what's been going on, I think you should be able to have limo tint. But the only way you get limo tint is if you register your vehicle as a commercial private vehicle for transport. It's almost worth paying the commercial license.
I don't know
just
how
to have
things. I don't know how things work in WA with that sort of thing, but in New South Wales, you're allowed to have all of your back windows tinted as dark as you like.
that. Yeah, right.
But the front windows have to have 30% opacity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, over here you can only have what's called the darkest legal tint.
Yeah.
You can't have limo tint or privacy screen tint. I don't understand it. For me, I think it's more of a police overreach because they're like, oh, well, we can't see in your vehicle or what you're doing when they drive beside you, which is the whole fucking point of privacy. But they can't see you if you're on your mobile. The only way they can see it is if they pull in front and they see you from the front.
Yeah.
They can't see from behind. They can't see from the side. Hey, this person's on the mobile, rah, rah. And I think that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember back in the 90s and early 2000s, we had cars with all these mad coloured tinted windows. You get like someone pulling up with red tinted windows or something, and they look pretty sick. But I will say this: as far as laws are concerned, I think that it should be I think it should be mandatory that every car in Australia has tinted windows. Simply because it will reduce the number of skin cancer cases overnight.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I see, when we got the new car, I forgot to ask through the whole process, get tinted windows. I actually forgot. So walked into the dealership, bought a car as is.
Yeah.
That was it. Totally forgot about the whole tinted windows, all that kind of jazz. I made sure we got a good deal.
You never get the dealership tint anyway.
No.
Don't do that. They will charge you. They'll charge you $1,000 to get the whole lot tinted.
And I made that mistake with the first car as well, which is probably why I never mentioned it on the second car. Whereas if you go to a place like Tintercar, it's usually $250 to $350. Dealership, $550 to $1,000.
Yeah. That's what happened with mine, because when I bought my car, I was like, oh, do you guys, just out of interest, do you guys tint windows? Because the last time I bought a brand new car, I didn't ask. And then I went and got it done later on anyway. So, yeah, I went, oh, do you guys do tinted windows? And they're like, yeah, we'll tint your windows for an extra $1,000. And I was like, how about, fuck no, I'm going to go to the guy who did it last time, because he does it for $400.
Yeah, no. See, I never understand their markups. They pay the people, which I'd assume the people that have to do it, because they'll send your car away, and they'll send it to a place like Tintercar, and then bring it back and go, oh yeah, we tinted your windows.
I was going to say that they'll probably send it to the same place you're going to take it to anyway.
Exactly right, and they'll say, yeah, $400. They'll pay the $400, and they've just pocketed another $5 in their pocket.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a service
the point.
fee. You're paying for a service fee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe there should be privacy screens, should be allowed. I wanted to personally have privacy screens all the way around, but to have a commercial license and a limo license, it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And every year you've got to pay that commercial fee and then use that vehicle as a commercial vehicle, but you pay a higher commercial rate.
Yeah.
Commercial regos and all that sort of jazz as well. And it's just, in the end, it's not worth it. So you get stuck with this, what's called darkest legal tint, which isn't even, it's not even that dark. But I agree with what you were saying. If they made it mandatory or implemented that on every vehicle being released, the amount of, sun damage to your skin is, halved, and your car doesn't get as hot during the summer. It stays a bit cooler. You can do extra things to put up on your windows when you park up to deflect the sun and whatnot. But a lot of the four-wheel drives you see driving around have that silver, what do you call it? The silver window protector that's on there, the sunshade. But they put that on their back window, and I'm like, you can't have dark tinted windows like limo tint, but the police are okay with you putting a sunshade on your back window or your side window, whatever. But you can't have dark legal tint, but it's okay to put a sunshade up. Which makes no sense, because while you're driving, you've got to see out your back rear view mirror. But it's okay to have sunshade. It's not against the law to put sunshade up.
See, that's why over here, it's perfectly okay to have the rear windows of the car, so your back passengers and back can be as dark as you like. But the front windows have to be able to be seen into.
Yeah, no. We're not so lucky. WA is so far behind. No. We're behind in everything.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I pay $7.50 in tolls just to get out of my driveway. So
Yeah, yeah, you pay too much in tolls. It doesn't make sense to me how you guys are still in that fucking era. And I think that's even privatised over there, isn't it? Like, they tried to bring it over here in WA. I kid you not, all the truckies banded together, and you've probably seen it on the news. They banded together and said, if you bring tolls, we'll just use other roads. And not only that, we'll stop delivering. We'll stop the wheels from moving. You'll be fucked. You won't get your food. You won't get your fruit. You won't get your deliveries because we won't fucking pick it up. And they literally stopped and they delayed traffic. They went on protest, and the government just went, yeah, it's not going to work over here. And that was it. That was the end of it.
Because people over there aren't afraid to protest. People over here, they're afraid to get their hands dirty. And they're just like, okay, I guess we'll just pay the tolls then. Like,
I guarantee...
you know what they did in Cape Town, over where my dad lives, right? Because they tried to bring that contactless toll roads over to Cape Town. They're going to put toll booths on all the main roads there. People there actually got into their utes and their trucks, and they pulled them down.
There you go. So it's
old mate up there with his winch, and some dude with a donkey cart and a couple of utes and everything like that with rope, and just pulled the toll booths down.
Yeah, no. So we're not as lucky to have that sort of thing. So they've actually got worse with that kind of thing over here. So instead of toll roads now, so as you're coming into the Perth city, you've got multiple bridges, right?
Yep.
And on these bridges, you've got what they call safety cameras. And there's three of them. Yeah. 3 of them on the front, 3 of them on the back. And there's like 4 of these bridges that you go under coming into the city. Yeah, and they're spread out probably, I don't know, 300 metres, if not less than that, 250 metres, something like that. Something stupid. But each of them have cameras. If you're speeding, if you're on your phone, if any of these within that distance of these 4 bridges, you get flashed. I got flashed the other day. Didn't even know I got flashed. We got a thing in the mail the other day.
Oh, really?
And I must have picked up my phone to answer a call, or something popped up and I was doing something on my phone, to answer it. And I must have answered it at the wrong time, because as I've gone under the bridge, they've got me on my phone holding it, and you can see my thumb using it, like hitting the call, like the pickup button. Because
Motherfucker.
Sarah's car doesn't have the wireless option in terms
Yeah.
of where you can put your phone. And I was trying to connect to the phone, and it just wouldn't fucking connect. So I gave up. I went, fuck it, I'm not going to connect it. We're only going to Perth and back. I'm not going to connect it. No one's going to call.
Yeah.
Sure enough, someone's fucking called me as I'm going through, and you can see me picking up, going to answer the phone, put it on speaker and go, yeah, $500, 3 demerits.
Damn.
And I was like, you fucking serious? Now,
Lucky it wasn't on the long weekend.
yeah, well, very lucky. That would have been 6 points. Now, joke's on them. I got most of my points back a few months ago. I got most of them back. Now I'm losing 3.
And I've got to knock on wood when I say this. That
Yeah.
I haven't lost a demerit point since 2017.
Sarah hasn't lost any since she got her license, and that was 10 years ago.
Good for her. That's a good effort.
Yeah, I know, but there's no points, there's no bonuses by not having a speeding ticket or infringement of any kind. I'm waiting for the day she gets one so I can go, you got infringement.
Where's my incentive for driving well? You get punished for driving badly, and they take.
There is
demerit points
zero
off.
incentive for driving good. But don't worry, if you drive like a shit cunt on the road, don't worry, you're protected by the law.
Exactly, you're protected by the law, and you can always go into court and you can make up some bullshit excuse, and the judge will just be like, "Forget about it, bang, next, see you later."
Or they'll say, convert it to community service. Oh, you naughty person.
Yep.
To be honest, I've went back. Oh, it's a number of years ago now, but I was constantly getting tickets from the car. It was almost like I was fucking tagged. I had a very nice car. This is probably my early 20s. Had a very nice car. Every time I went out in this car, there happened to be a cop just around the corner. Now, back in those days, coppers were actually active. Like, they were out. And I knew where they were and, what times they'd be around. But somehow there'd always be an unmarked nearby or a highway
But
patrol
by very nice car, he means a hodded up supercharged VY Commodore with 22-inch alloy wheels and low
Look,
profile
it was
tires.
close. It was a XR6 turbo.
Okay.
It's close. Very high. Like, it was obviously back in those days, those cars were quite popular. But they just seen the car and instantly I was a target. Every time the cops would drive past, they'd spin around, fucking tag the car for something. They'd try and find a reason.
They
Or
love
if
the
I was
XR6s.
10, 15, I ended up accumulating so many speeding charges that by the time I looked at all of them, I just went, fuck it, take it to court.
Yep.
And some of these charges back then were like 450, 550, 650 for this fine, 450 for that. And I'd accumulate it into community service. I'd do, either 2 days or 4 days worth of community service, and that would pay the entire fine off. Bang, see you later, done with. But you can only do that if you go to court.
Yep.
Now, when you go to court, you also accumulate court charges. So you get the court's fee, then you get the prosecution's fee on top of that. So you end up doing about a week's worth of community service.
I had the same thing when I was in my 20s.
But if you're sick of paying the government, that's the best way of doing it.
Yeah, that's it. For some reason, I'd always get targeted, and I always cop fines for doing stupid things. Like, not being a hoon or anything like that, but just not, I don't know, I guess you could say just not being an experienced driver and not knowing how to think ahead.
Yeah.
Like, there was one I got, no. There was one I caught where I was behind a semi. It was the middle of the night. I was heading to work. It was like nearly nearly midnight because I was starting at midnight.
Yeah.
And I was behind a semi. Didn't realize the light had changed because I couldn't see it. I couldn't see past the semi, and of course I got smashed by the red light camera, didn't I?
Oh, no. So you got pinned going through it.
Yep.
See, that's what I hate about trucks when you get... That's why everyone tends to go into the other lane when they're at lights when there's a fucking truck involved, because they're that slow to take off. By the time it's your turn to get through the lights change, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or you get those idiots at the turning lane who are too busy on their phone, not paying attention, the light's been green for 10 seconds, you're holding the horn, they finally go and they get maybe 2 or 3 cars in the lights changing. And
Yeah.
so I got lucky on the long weekend recently just gone over here. So I obviously went through what I thought was the green light. It turned to yellow halfway through.
Yeah.
Now, lucky for me, I have a camera on the car, so I would have contested it anyway. But I got through, and all of a sudden there was cop lights, and I was thinking, oh, fuck, here we go, undercover, getting pulled over. However, I got away with it because the car behind me smashed the yellow light, went through the yellow, definitely went through a red, and he admitted it to me afterwards because he drove past the house, and I called him down and said, hey, oh, did you get pinned? Like, what did they get you for? And they go, they got me for the red light. And I said, did you? And he goes, oh, I definitely, I ran the red. So he was on the red light as I was going through it because of one dickhead all the way up in front who sat there for too long, and you can only get 3 cars in. I went, I'm not fucking stopping, I'm going. I forgot it was a long weekend, double demerits and all. Went through it. I didn't get pinned. Car behind me smashed the red light. He got pinned instead. The copper said to him, we were actually going for the black car in front of you, but then you went through it, so we came after you. So I hate these drivers who just don't pay attention when it comes to that thing.
What is it?
Trucks are the worst for that. You know, you get stuck behind them, get stuck beside them. You know, they just slow. Everything's slow to take off. There's no leeway. You run the red or the yellow is the new red according to the police, because if you type in Google, can you go through a yellow light? It is the yellow light is considered a red light unless it is unsafe to stop. Which I never actually knew about. I thought it just meant slow down, caution, you know.
No, yellow is you're not allowed to enter the intersection anymore. Yeah, red light is you're definitely not allowed to enter the intersection.
Yeah, red light definitely no. But it just blew my mind how you don't see a copper on the street, and you know, or very rarely will you see them during a Monday to Friday shift or a Monday to Sunday shift at that. Yeah. But if it comes to long weekend, public holiday, fucking any kind of fucking holiday or event, they will triple the numbers of police presence on the roads.
Oh, yeah.
They will smash the cops out on the roads just to hit quotas, just to get the numbers up. Now, I asked an officer, what's the deal behind this? Do you guys have quotas to meet?
They do. They don't admit it, but they do.
Well, this officer admitted it to me. He goes, yeah, we do. So what they get is they get a briefing from the senior sergeant in the morning or the station officer, and they'll have, you've got to get X amount of breath tests done, X amount of infringements written, whatever the situation is for the month. If they don't hit these quotas, consistently fail to hit targets, the commissioner will shut the station down because it is not generating revenue and is costing them money. Now, the government only pays so much to the police force. Now, I found out recently,
it's not a lot.
If you look up the WA police or even your local police and look up different suburbs, each police station will have a different ABN number. It is not under one big umbrella, Canberra Police or Sydney Police. Each station is individually run with its own ABN, which is individually privately run. Now, the fire service and St. John's are in the same situation. I only recently found out that DFest is privately owned.
DFest, what's that?
It's our Department of Fire Services.
Okay.
So Department of Emergency Fire Services.
Yes, okay.
So the fire brigade is actually also privately owned, which is why they are struggling to get the federal government to give more money to the fireys, because they're so underpaid. But the fire trucks that we had back when we were kids are the same trucks they're using now, which are breaking, which is why they're having this massive pay dispute at the moment. And they want the federal government to up their pay and give them more money and all this, but the fireys said we're privately owned, so that's the excuse. They're saying, well, you're privately run, like make your own money. St. John are the same. They're privately run. They're told make your own money, which is where the ambulance bills come in. You know, they say, right, it costs X amount to run this, so we'll charge $1,000 odd, $1,500, $2,000 per ambulance bill. If you don't have private health, you'll pay the full whack of that bill.
This is why I live so close to the hospital, so I don't have to pay the goddamn ambulance.
Well, that's it. Now, we got private health because the government has said you need to have private health or you will pay more at tax time. So we've got private health. You've got to be on the ball with this stuff. Like, if you're not on the ball with any of this, with what's going on around you, you kind of get fucked over in a sense, don't you?
And this and the whole sex offenders registry and all that kind of thing. It's all a transparency issue with the government.
Yeah, that's all it is. The government doesn't want people to know what's being put out there. They're worried about retaliation, all this kind of shit. There's probably really serious sex offenders out there that we just won't ever know about their crime because the government won't release the information.
Yeah.
Some of the orders, some of these people being released are on gag orders where the media can't disclose any information about the person or what's going on, where they're being released, all that kind of thing. Some of them don't have gag orders where they can report on it. There was a situation on the news the other day where a young girl was killed by a 14-year-old girl.
Yes,
and
I heard about that.
Only just been released. This happened 3-4 years ago. And we're only just finding out about it now because of the age restriction. This girl's now turned 18. It was 4 years ago. She was 14 at the time of the crime. 18, so the gag order's obviously been released. Took 4 years for the parents to fight this order to release her name, to say this girl...
A murderer is a murderer. Doesn't matter how old they are.
Yeah, like... What goes through your mind as a 14-year-old going, I'm going to kill someone?
The younger the person is, the more disturbing it is. So why can't 100%. They name them?
And that's the worst thing. The way the court system works is they deserve a chance of rehabilitation and a new life. They committed this at a young age. I'm sorry, if you commit fucking murder, life for life. You spend life. You committed this at 14, your life in jail. Not, 10 years. Like, what the fuck? Like, and sometimes they're not even getting 10 years. A lot of these people, pedophiles, are getting less than that. And you would think a pedophile would get life.
You see the way these kids act about going to jail now. They're so blasé about it.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No.
And you get these young kids now that
they don't care.
Yeah. You get these young kids now that think they're hardened criminals, and they'll go out and kill someone. They'll kill another teenager or something like that. And they go, you won't do much to me. I'll be out in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Or even less. You get a slap on the wrist because they'll do it at an age where they can't be sentenced to jail. They'll do it at 12 years old where they can't be sentenced. Look what happened to that, I think it was a Sudanese kid. I think he was only like 8 years old or 7 years old or something. And he was with his older brother playing basketball, and a youth gang got together, mistaken identity. That's what it come down to. They got the wrong fucking people altogether.
Yeah. What was that? Was it The Offspring that made a song about that?
I believe so.
What was it called again?
Oh, no, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you.
I'm Googling the lyrics.
Have a Google up for it.
Yeah, that's right. It was Come Out and Play by The Offspring.
Yeah, that's the one.
You got to keep them separated. One goes to the morgue, the other to jail. One guy's wasted and the other's a waste. Yeah. And it's all about trying to convince a kid to commit murder because they are underage and nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah, and that's what shits me is there's people out there actually releasing that kind of shit too. You know, back in our sort of, I say back in our day like we're fucking old, but back when we were kids, we didn't have this type of shit going on, or if we did, it wasn't as bad as what it's become to now.
Maybe not in Australia we didn't have this kind of thing going on, but
no.
Places like America it still happened.
I think when the bikies run the area, I think things were a lot more safer. Now that bikies are no longer allowed to be patched, no longer allowed to be out in the sort of per se community in groups, I think these other little gangs have all finally got together and gone, well, fuck it, we can run this area because the bikies no longer run it. You do see them sort of still ride together and they're not wearing patches, but you know they're part of a gang. They're all covered up, but you could go, well, that's not a standard standard gang, like a standard motorcycle club.
They're allowed to be patched riding together in New South Wales, but it has to be for a reason.
Yeah, okay, so like a national run or something like
So
that.
if they're going for if it's a parade or a bikie funeral or something, then they're allowed to ride under patch, but otherwise they're not.
They're not. Yeah, I think WA's got beyond strict.
Yeah.
With when it comes to bikie laws, I think we've got probably the most harshest bikie laws there is, but it was getting to a point where it was getting out of hand and everyone was going, well, what the fuck are you doing about it, government? You know, you're not doing anything. They're getting away with it. So
Yeah.
it got to a point where things had to change or it was going to get out of hand. You know, that many shootings in a space of a month, you know, it was getting pretty bad.
I think
so
they need to make a comeback, to be honest.
They do. I think the areas were a lot safer when the presence was there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and they are
Because,
approachable. They're not all assholes. They are approachable. You can sit down and literally have a beer with them or have a chat with them. They will talk with you. But if you're a cunt, they'll treat you like you need to be treated. They will fucking put you in your place.
Because the cops will do nothing. The cops they
cops
can't do
do
anything.
nothing.
But if you act up and the bikies hear about it,
That's
you're
it, yeah.
in trouble. You know you don't have much longer to live.
I still remember the days where, you know, friends of mine were part of that sort of scene and they would have their fathers dropping them off at school, or you go around to the house and, you know, the father's got their mates around there, but something would happen to one of the family members and all of a sudden you'd see 15 of them roll up to the house, 15 of them going, we're going for this bloke, and then that'll be it. And, you know, that's the way it was. And you certainly knew not to fuck around with those kids that had fathers in gangs. And now it's just like, oh, your father's a bikie? Who gives a fuck? So the gangs are just, they've got worse.
So as I mentioned before, right, one of the parades, or one of the events that the bikies get involved in here is something called the Snowy Ride.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where a bunch of them will get on their bikes and they'll ride, I think, from Brisbane, and they'll ride all the way down to Jindabyne in the Snowy Mountains. Now, I used to live in one of the towns that they would stop in.
Yeah, right.
So there was this one particular day stands out to me because it just made me smile. Me and my daughter, we were walking down the main street, and she would have been only 4 or so. And there's this pair of big old bikies, fully patched up in their denims and leathers, sitting out the front of the cafe having a coffee. You know, this guy's got a beard on him that would make Ned Kelly jealous. Okay, big old white beard.
Big white beard,
yeah. He's sitting there very stoically just watching the street go by, and my daughter walks up to him and she's like, hello. And this guy, you see this bloke, it was like his face cracked. He just went, g'day, darling, how are you? But they are, even though they're rough and tough guys, they're all family men and they are very approachable. But they will take care of shit in the area if it needs to be taken care of.
Exactly. It used to be that you could approach them if you had an issue, tell them about it, what's going on, and, you know, depending on how they felt at the time, they'd help you. You know, or they'd say, oh, well, hang around. Like, if you were worried about someone following you, you could approach them because they used to be patched everywhere. Oh, this bloke's following me. Can you watch out? If he comes near me, well, I'd take off. Can you stop him? And they go, well, who is it? You point them out and they go, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And you know you were safe. You could walk around safely. Now you can't. Now it's like Sudanese and the Africans, the gangs, the child youth has got so bad.
It's more than that.
It's public transport anymore. Like it's
also just the regular old eshays and drug addicts. And whatnot
exactly.
As well.
It's just got worse. You know, they know they can't be touched because the law's told them we won't touch you.
Yeah.
Physically came out and said we won't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And they came out publicly and told these kids we can't do anything to you. So the kids went, all right, you can't do anything. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, going around fucking hooning in cars and shit, 12, 11 years old. Well, you can't do anything to me. What are you going to do? Take me home? Can't lock him up. 11, 12
What are
years
you going to
old.
do? Take me back to my parents, tell them what I did? They fucking know what I did. They let me do it.
Yeah. The only time they get locked up is 13, 14 years old. All of a sudden you go to juvie.
Yeah.
Now, I think there
And what's
needs to
juvie
be...
going to do these days?
Yeah,
Juvie doesn't do fuck all either.
Doesn't do fuck all now. It's more of a, what do you want to do when you grow up? You know, and they can't do anything until they're legally of age to obtain tickets, so they sit in prison, play fucking puzzles, and that's probably about it. Fucking go do some gardening, rehabilitation, some fucking community service out in the community under watch. Can't do anything else with them because they can't obtain a license. They can't obtain any form of, operating civil tickets. The only thing you can do is say, okay, what's schooling? What do you want to learn? Like, what part of have you done your year 10? Have you done year 9? Like,
Yeah.
and they try to get them back into schooling, or they make it mandatory for them to do schooling.
And then they don't go to school. They go back straight back on the streets and they jig.
Yeah, they're back on their old way.
Yeah, back to the old ways straight afterwards.
That's it. Alrighty, well, it looks like we're going to wrap it up for another week.
Yeah, well, first let's drop in a little mention to our old mates On Track Meals, shall we?
On Track Meals, let's go.
I got one written up here. This episode is brought to you by our massive mates at On Track Meals. Don't make them sound fat or anything, it's just mates. Our mates at On Track Meals. Whether you're driving trucks, operating machinery, working nights, pulling long shifts, or just can't be bothered cooking after a big day, On Track Meals has your back. They got a huge range of ready-made meals that are packed with flavour, loaded with protein, and actually fill you up. No sad desk lunches, no mystery servo pies, just proper meals ready when you are. Keep a few in the fridge, throw some in the freezer, and future you will be thanking present you at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday when motivation has completely left the building. Head on over to On Track Meals and use the code inthezone10, all capitals, inthezone10 for your 10% off your order. On Track Meals, good food, no excuses, and proud supporters of In The Zone. Proud supporters of the Chill Zone, damn it.
They are proud supporters of the Chill Zone.
Proud supporters of the Chill Zone.
I want to give a shout out to.
Yes.
I want to see if I've put them on our page. So give me a sec while I go onto our Facebook page, which is Shrunky Traffic Control and Community.
While you do that, I'm going to say go and check out Three Wheel Bicycle as well.
Yeah, Three-Wheeled Bicycle is really good.
They're almost like a sister podcast of ours now, aren't they? Or a brother. We're all blokes here. No, there are no chicks. No chicks involved.
No chicks. Now, another one I want to give a shout out is to a thong company who got the inspired thong from the bread clip off your bread to make these thongs. And it's called here'sgolden.com. The bread tag design. Now, I've personally got a pair of these thongs. I ordered a size too small, but they just fit my feet where I don't have to reorder it. But the next time I do make another order, which will probably be sometime soon, probably tax time, I'm going to get the next size up. Now, these thongs are unbreakable. They're literally, if you turn them over, they've got the design of a bread tag. Which I wish I had thought about that myself, because that is fucking...
Because that's what we used to use to fix our thongs, wasn't it?
It was the bread tag. Even some people today still do it.
I do.
Like, it is one of these designs where you're just like, shit, that actually works. And you try and pull it, you try and rip it apart. There's a video on the here'sgolden.com page where you can see people trying to literally... rip these thongs apart to break the tag.
Let's check this out. Here's Golden.
Here's golden.com. What I'm going to do for
if
our
any
viewers
Facebook would exit.
Here.
We got a viewer? We have viewers?
We have viewers? What? No way. Check this, guys, out in the public chat. Here's golden.com.
Here's I'll just Google it. Here's Golden Thongs. And click, excuse me, I'm burping into the mic there.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, right. The thing at the bottom of the thong actually looks like a bread tag.
It looks like a bread tag. Now, I'm surprised the people that make bread haven't gone, hey, that's copyright. That's patent.
No, they can't do that.
It's
like trying to patent a video. Not a video. It's like trying to patent a zipper or something. But for those watching the video on YouTube, that's actually what it looks like. It's a bread tag.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I do have these thongs, and I'll prove it here. If I've got them here next to me, or if they're down the hallway, they are down the hallway. So I
Simply
cannot
made
grab them.
better. That's golden. Sick of blowouts? We're a small New Zealand business taking on the big guys with our clever bread tag shaped plug. Larger, stronger, and designed to not pop before its time. Goldens are lightweight, durable, and backed by a 12-month warranty. We're always improving, because unlike the big guys, we actually care what you think. Simply made better. That's golden. It is golden. That's cool. I like that.
It is an awesome, awesome set of thongs.
Who have we got here? Oh, you've just chucked
That's
that.
just me. That's just me. I've just chucked it in there to the public chat.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
that's cool.
It's cool. Alrighty, so there are sponsors, guys. Well, someone I thrown in there for a sponsor, free sponsor. We're not paid. On Track Meals do give us a little promo code for you guys to use. That's On Track in the Zone 10 at the checkout, and you get a 10% discount off your meals. If you use that code word in the Zone 10, all in cap letters, I believe, you will get a discount at the checkout.
And they
All right,
certainly
guys.
are delicious. I'm looking to restock as soon as I get a little bit of free money.
You know,
Not
I
free
am the
money, a
same.
little bit of
Uh,
money that is free.
money that is
money
free.
that's loose and able to be spent. Because right now
Yes.
it's just my income in the house, so I'm sort of. And you guys are in the same sort of
We're
situation,
in the
aren't you?
situation, yep. So,
Because was it you I was talking to the other day? Centrelink does absolutely fuck all to help those.
Centrelink does nothing to help. It is a joke. Yeah,
Why
my
don't-
situation is a bit different, but
Yeah,
that's for another day.
yeah. Why don't we make that other day the following week, next Friday?
Yes, that sounds good.
All right,
guys,
well,
we'll
for
see
now-
you next week.
See you next week. Keep the green roads green.